Hey guys, subscribe for daily content, and if you're shopping for gear, make sure you check out the description for the newest items at some of the very best online retailers. There's also links for some of the items that I personally recommend. Thanks!
What's going on YouTube? Metal Complex here, and today I've got another short little unboxing video to share with you guys. Something from KB Knives. This is definitely sort of a hit or miss kind. I mean, in terms of like quality, it's really great. In terms of, is it interesting? Do people care? Sometimes yes, sometimes no. They have here recently delivered some absolute bangers. So every time I get a mystery box from them, which this is in fact a mystery box, there was no real conversation had. So I'll open it up. And if you're viewing this, it was at least interesting enough to share with you guys. I'll put it down in the description. You guys can check it out if you want to. It does help my channel when you use those links, but that's entirely up to you. Thanks to KB/Kubi for sending this in. Thanks to my patrons for supporting me. Let's go ahead and open this up. This is, they still don't actually print the name of the model on the box. So like the link down in the description will have the name of it. But this is the KB463B. CPM 20 CV and titanium. Okay. Feels not little. It's not. In fact, it's not what I was expecting at all. We have a big, crazy titanium corambit here. Personally, I am not a corambit guy. Boy, look at this weird thing. Is this a button lock? Yeah, it's a plunge lock. Okay. It would have been really exciting right off the bat to see a button-operated top liner lock or something like that. There's definitely something weird going on here with this this piece back here. So this is the type of thing that I will absolutely upload, because even though it is not really my taste, it is weird, and I do like weird because weird, it makes for interesting content. Look where the glass breaker is. That is definitely strange. It does feel solid. I mean, their button lock is it's really solid, and it's got a nice smooth action to it. It also is definitely creating a pretty solid detent. Like you can hear it click into place. Ready? Yeah, pretty good. Okay, now what is going on here? Does this detach? Why does it look like this? Maybe this is simply the back spacer, and that's why the entire ring here. But it looks, this almost looks like a hinge, right? And, you know, there'll be speculation in this or that. But if you don't see an edit in this video of some sort of additional function, it means there is not one, because I will have had time after this video to go and you know, look it up. If I can't figure it out here, I'll have had time to go and look it up and find out whether or not that is the case. But it appears that this is simply attaching, you know, as a backspacer. And you know what? We can just do it. We don't have to guess. We can just take it apart, which is kind of what I want to do. So, excuse me, it looks like probably a T8. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. We're going to put the blade away for this. It also looks like I might have to take off the pocket clip. So rather than guess, I'm just going to go ahead and take the pocket clip off. And you know what I'm also going to do? I'm going to get my magnet out, and we can attach all of this hardware to the magnet instead of guessing. Instead of like just letting it roll around the table. I'm going to guess that this is steel hardware, but maybe it's titanium. So here's one. Oh, it is. It's either non-magnetic steel or it is in fact titanium hardware. So there you go. The magnet's not going to do us any good. That's the thing. It's neat to get titanium hardware, but then that makes it even that much more. You have to have like a rubber mat with the different you know, sections, which I do have. It's just there's a bunch of stuff on top of it. So yeah, this appears to be either non-magnetic. I forget the grade of steel. I think there's a few of them that are non-magnetic, or it is titanium hardware. So now we're going to take out this screw here. This appears to be the next one. And this is also the screw that kind of is in an area that makes it look like it's a hinge. Like I thought it kind of like maybe it swung back and it was going to let me do like some sort of like crazy whippy motion, but I don't believe so. I think it's legitimately just a backspacer. Now look at this. How strange. That screw does not... Is that a Chicago end? Is that what that is? Okay. We're going to continue to take this it apart entirely. That's what we're going to do. So let's remove the pivot. It's very, very intrigued now. I don't always take knives apart, but when something just appears to be different, then I just need to know. So we got that scale popped up now. So that's from the button. So what is holding everything in place? How strange. I mean, it appears to be this right here. It doesn't really want to turn, but I think that's because this is one, like it's the whole barrel and it's threaded through there. So let's take a look. Ooh, do you still want to even come up? Let's do that. Let's take a look inside here. A couple of pins holding this spacer, and it's like splitting there. So it looks like another pin back here, and then yeah, it's literally just this right here, which I think is not a screw. I think it's the entire barrel. The way that it's turning makes me think, and I bet maybe we could see it. If we go left here, can we get the light in there? It's going to be real tricky to see, but it does not want, it turns as if there's friction all the way around. So I don't think, it really looked like, yeah, you can see in here, it's all just connected. There's no hinge or anything. I wasn't sure what I thought it might do. I think it's just a weird way to do like a combination backspacer corambit hole thing, right? I think that's all that it is. And there'll be an edit in this video if that's not the case, but I don't believe that there's anything else really going on here. Let's put this pivot back in so that everything else can go back together. And then we'll talk a little bit about this design. So let's make sure that we're functioning properly there. So now we need to put these two screws back in, and are these true? These are exactly the same. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and put that one right there and put it back in. I really thought maybe we were gonna find something weird. Thanks for going on the adventure with me, right? You don't know unless you take it apart sometimes, right? Doing this and reviewing knives, like you see so much of the same types of construction that you can most of the time you can look at stuff like this and go, I know exactly what's happening on the inside there. But as time goes on and we see stuff, from like Mundus or from Winterblade, and there's a number of other people that are doing weird things. And you're like, well, some of these, you got to take them apart, and some of them look a little bit funny, like this one here, that little hinge area. I was like, there might be something else happening there. And since I do my unboxings blind, there are still hundreds of thousands of you that cannot tell the difference between my reviews and my unboxings, or don't understand why I'm doing an unboxing and then a review. The unboxing is always done blind because the initial reaction, the first reaction, right? That I think is really important, because without it, you sort of just reacting to something without knowing anything about it, and so your opinion has not been skewed one way or another by your expectations. I kind of like that, and then I like to go and experience it and learn about it and then review it, which believe it or not, all of my reviews have the word review in the title and the actual picture of the knife. Then you can sort of, like, people can compare and contrast, because sometimes the initial reaction is different. Sometimes I think I experience it and I'm like, I hate this, it's stupid. And then in practice, it changes my opinion completely. And I'll tell you why I do that. It's entirely because of my experience with Spyderco knives. I was convinced that the PM2 was the stupidest knife I had ever seen, and everybody who liked it was stupid. All of these stupid Spyderco people, they don't know any better. What a stupid, stupid knife. And then I finally bought it. And I got it, and I was like, it's still stupid, ugly, weird thing. And then I carried it and I used it, and I was like, oh, well, this is not only is it good, it's one of the best freaking knives I've ever carried right at the time. And I realized that sometimes what when you see a video through a rectangle and you're like, I hate it, sometimes you're right and sometimes you're completely wrong. And so I've always enjoyed kind of doing the initial, first impressions that's the word I was looking for. The first impressions, and being honest, right? Being a knife guy, kind of experiencing things the same way that anybody would, giving my first impressions and then giving my updated impressions after having carried and actually used the thing, which are, you know, sometimes the same and sometimes completely different. So that's why we do things this way. So yeah, I don't really, people always tell me like, why don't you learn everything about the knife before you unbox it? Because I don't want to. I kind of want to have my own experience. I don't want to be told what experience to have by looking that information up beforehand. I want to have my own experience first and then do the researching and, you know, make the final review after I've had a chance to experience it and carry a little bit. So, yeah, okay, so it's really just a button lock titanium corambit thingy. I don't think a plunge lock is the right lock for something like this, and given that a corambit typically is, number one, I can barely fit my index finger. They need to make these bigger, right? This ain't gonna, this is, I'm gonna get my finger stuck in there, right? And I don't have the biggest hands in the world. I got a pretty normal, like, grown man size hands. So anybody with hands, like if you wear an XL glove, you're going to also have your index finger stuck. Anybody with bigger hands, same thing. But obviously, you know, a corambit is more so designed as like a self-defense style blade. And as someone who is not a self-defense expert at all, you know, I can't speak on how effective these things are. I can tell you that I don't like the idea of using anything that folds to protect myself, because I think I might hurt myself. I think I'd be more likely to hurt myself with it. And furthermore, if it does have to fold, I really don't like depending on something like a plunge lock to make sure that that blade stays out. I think it should be a different lock entirely, and I also think that there should be a secondary, like a safety or something like that. I think just about the only locking mechanism that I would trust for a folding self-defense style knife is something that was made by Demco. It's Triad Lock, Shark Lock, or maybe like the Cold Steel Atlas Lock. And so, I mean, ultimately, folding karambits have always been kind of silly to me. And I know that I'm being overly critical of this one versus other ones that I've seen, right? So it's kind of fun just in the sense it's like a crazy premium, you know, this is probably, oh my gosh, hold on a sec. Is this Hoback? Yeah, it's Hoback. Okay, interesting. I didn't even know that he did this. But at least, you know, with this being Kubi, at least we're being open about this being a Chinese product, right? But yeah, I don't know that a folding karambit makes a whole lot of sense to me. But then again, I collect things and own things that don't make any sense whatsoever. So on one hand, a titanium premium folding karambit will definitely be appealing to some people, and it absolutely can be used as a casual tool. On the other hand, do I think that you should really, like, you know, depend on something like this to protect yourself? Well, there's a lot of choices that you could make that would be far worse, and a lot of choices that you could make that would be far better. But I don't think that this is going to be a seriously optimized self-defense apparatus. No. But yeah, it's a little bit weird. I really thought that this was going to like fling out and do something wild and crazy, right? So, okay. Neat. That's going to be about it today, guys. I'll link this down in the description if you want to check it out. Please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like. If you'd like to check out my other content, I do, of course, have lots of videos of knives that are either expensive or inexpensive that I do or don't like, so check those out. And if you enjoy all my content, go ahead and click on that Metal Complex logo right there and subscribe, because there's definitely more coming. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and have a great day.